Pax vobiscum salvete omnes, my name is Father Mislav and welcome to another episode of Blind Let's Play of Rogue Trader 40K. Well, this time I have a surprise for you guys, and that will be if I click in a certain direction, specifically this, you should be able to see, can you see, if I lower my like this? So we have this, look at this, purchased. Well, you managed to convince me to finally buy the Void Shadows DLC. I don't know if it's even cheaper now because it's the summertime and other expansion is already out, and maybe it's just cheaper because time has passed. But the thing that managed to convince me in the end, or the arguments that you had for me to buy it in the end, is it's not a story that's separate from this story. It just combines itself in this story, so it will enrich the gaming experience of this specific story, and it's not too late for me to acquire it, to buy it. I am fearful of the time, the 15 plus hours that are inside. That doesn't mean that I will spend whole 15 hours, that I will explore everything that can be explored through that expansion, even though I know myself and my obsessive nature sometimes, and I am a completionist. I always was in games. If I like the game, I don't know how many times, at least 3 or 4 times I completed Dragon Age Origins, like completely. Everything that can be done, it was done, and it was quite nice. I loved that game. I absolutely loved that game. Too bad games like that don't come out anymore. Probably there will after some time, but the combination of a good writing, the tactical gameplay, the complexity and the simplicity of it at the same time, I don't know how to explain it. It was just good. Well, never mind. I have no idea what I'm going to see in Void Shadows, so I'm just gonna be open to it, and hopefully I will simply encounter more stuff. I know that in my ship there should be some changes or additions, so I will explore the actual state of being inside of my Pallium Domine ship. Okay, so I'm eager to start. So let us play, let us play, but before playing, let us pray. In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. Ave Maria, gratia plena, Dominus tecum, benedicta tu in mulieribus, et benedictus fructus ventris tui, Iesus. Sancta Maria, Mater Dei, ora pro nobis peccatoribus, nunc et in hora mortis nostre. Amen. In nomine Patris et Filii et Spiritus Sancti. Amen. Molto bene, muy bien, très bien. Okay, I think this is fine. Let us return to here and continue with the game. Let me put this. Maybe the microphone should be a little bit closer. I think the sound, the Rhodes microphone manages to cover the sound in an appropriate manner. That is fine. Okay. You can enable install DNC on your current playthrough by opening the DLC section of the in-game menu after loading your save. Okay. Enable. On. Void Shadows is the first major story expansion. Massive amount of content. Oh, I'm so fearful to hear that. A new story. Tense 15 hours. Okay, but integrated into the main campaign. New companion who is ready to pledge her life. Okay. New crew members. High-level officers. New looming threat. Oh, Gene Stealer cult. Now I'm familiar with the Gene Stealer cult from the Bricky's videos. The Communists. A new threat of communism is looming within the deepest and darkest bowels of the Prelayer's very own void ship. No! So I have I have communists who infiltrated my ship. What? The communists infiltrated the church? Is that possible? Actually, it is. It is an accurate representation of our reality. Alright. So, I have plasteel here. Good. I remember I have a lot of extractium. Do I have anything really interesting here? I think I just finished with the Janus. There's nothing else to do. I don't think I bought anything of note over there, though. No. But maybe I can... No, I have 12 scrap. I cannot do anything with that. Then, map of the Coronis Expanse. So, what's new, guys? For me, yesterday was a feast, a solemnity. I think that's the English word for one rank, one tier higher than the feast inside of the Catholic Church. The solemnity of my founder, Saint Dominic. So it was a nice day. It was beautiful. I decided to just spend it, well, in organizational things, preparing for the High Mass and the Franciscan brothers who visited the monastery and the church and had the Mass together with us, and then like dinner together with everybody. It was nice. But during that time, even though I consciously didn't want to check out and look, I knew that one of my videos was actually blowing up in popularity. My first viral video happened, well, basically yesterday and the day before yesterday. The Joshua Graham's Fallout New Vegas video. So it has, I think, at this point when I'm filming this, around 170,000 views, which is, well, I would say a lot. I would say a lot. With that, I think with the revenue from that video, I will be able to buy, just from that video, I think, I will be able to buy like a small camera, like an addition to put on my computer, to have like a better, just a streaming image. So it's not like I don't have anything, like my convent doesn't have money, but this is like more a private project, so the revenue, or yeah, the small income that I get from these kind of things, after it accumulates a little bit, I'll be able to get a better equipment. I'm happy for that, because I'm aware that I don't have a perfect equipment. I started doing this simply like a raw, not professionally, and I'm fine with that. I don't care. I think it's better. I want to improve, but I don't want to be like a hardcore perfectionist. I don't want to or cannot move if everything is not as perfect as it can be. So, with time, improvements. Should I chart new routes? I think I should. Definitely. Oh, even more worlds. More and more and more worlds. Oh, bloody hell. Omicron. System Speculo. Credo Capri. Palatium Stellos. There are a lot of worlds out here. Forgotten Twins. Oh, I have even quests here. Save the Eldari survivors. That's on the Forgotten Twins. And how can I get there? Oh, it's not easy. I should be moving all around. But isn't like... yeah, isn't this like a priority thing? Kiavagama. I thought that I really have to do it like it's in a way I'm on a time limitation. I'm not sure if I am truly on a time limitation. Should I go safe? Pulvis Platinum. Silence of Mersegrit. I like going slower, right? So maybe here, and then jump here, and then maybe here, here, and then here, and then here. Oh, we have an Eldari survivors in many worlds. Okay, fine. And here we have the Dargonus. I think Dargonus is gonna be later on. It's not a priority, is it? Administrative apparatus. Okay, let's do this. The safe. Tranquility of the wardrobe. Hundreds of people were knocking and screaming. Eldari like shadows thrashing. Okay, so it's kind of connected with Yrliet, but everything was fine in the end. Okay, they're humbly waiting on a bridge. I'm looking forward to acquaint with the senior members and listen to what they have to say. Hello. Heinrich Montag. Now, I don't know if this is already from the expansion to the OC. Lord Captain, if I may request your attention for a moment, I must report a series of highly dangerous violations that have taken place in the fuel compartment. The Master-at-Arms is ignoring my demands and thus forced to appeal directly to you. The Fuelers have founded a sect of some kind. This group practices fire worship of the Emperor and has been burning promethium near the fuel lines. Okay, so I have to stop the madness. Jocasta says, I should point out that there have been no incidents in the fuel compartment so far, and that the beliefs of this sect do not affect the obedience of the workers, their efficiency in any way. All assemblies are conducted strictly after hours with the permission of their superiors. However, if you find their practices unacceptable, we will put a stop to them immediately. So, first of all, what? They are burning my promethium. I don't know if is that a lot? The amount of residue accumulated in the drainage tanks was so laughably small that it was not even worth recording. Okay, that's fine. That's fine for me. So, what about ecclesiarchy? It's not like I'm a watchdog of the ecclesiarchy, but I want to know, is this like sanctioned or no? This matter is beyond my purview. Let Confessor Adalbert be the judge of such business. And now he says, the Emperor protects your lordship. I can assure that there is no heresy festering in the fuel compartment. The sect of the Fire Prophecies has been tested for purity and found to be in accordance with the Creed. Their leader, who calls himself the Oracle of Fire, is devout and submissive to his servants. They do not twist the sacred teachings, and as for their chosen forms of worship, they are neither rare nor remarkable. So many such minor cults exist. And the ecclesiarchy approves of them all, regardless of what actually the Emperor thinks about that. But let's be honest, even the Emperor, I would not say approves, but tolerates that. Because if I understood a little better of the lore on the Emperor on his golden throne, he actually gets his powers in a way, or a part of his psychic force from all the worship that's being directed to him. So, controversial figure. Big E. What about prophecies? At least he and his flock believe that the Emperor reveals glimpses of the possible future to him in sacred flame. It's okay. Visions. We have visions. The followers are convinced that they are visions of the future. We don't know if that's truly the grace of the Emperor, or charlatan, or lunatic, or something worse. A wicked rogue who possesses psychic power not tempered by his will. Lord Captain, a choir master of the Astropathic choir. I must be watchful for any threats to the ship's safety originating from the Materium. I have heard rumors that about this oracle, so I have sent my adepts to see him. They assert that the man is a psyker. This man who speaks to the warp is a danger to himself and to the entire vessel. Both law and common sense dictate that he should be thrown into a holding cell, tranquilized, and handed over to the Inquisition to be sent to Holy Terra. Alternatively, you may also dispose of him in some other way. Okay, so Choir Master Weiss. You and I have not yet had the pleasure of conversing. I beg for your forgiveness, but I seldom leave the chapel to interfere in the affairs of the ship. My duty requires that I keep constant vigil as I direct the arrival and departure of messages across the boundless void. But given that this incident had already demanded my interference, I thought it a good opportunity to introduce myself and pay my respects to you. Well, you kinda forgot about the introduction part and paying respect. Okay, so let's see, what can we do? We have a couple of options, as always, and this time I'm not gonna be negligent and sink all of them. So either throw him out of the airlock, no. Number 5, no. Throw him in a holding stand, hand him over to the authorities. No, that would be like almost 100% torture until he dies or something like that. Or maybe he will become a servitor just because he's a psychic. I doubt that he will become a sentient psychic. If my Infernus Master says they are a danger to the ship, I'm convinced. Disperse. Just disperse them. That's an option. Number 3 is an option. The Oracle's visions may prove useful to us. We will not let the law stand in our way. Do keep an eye on him, Weiss. I'm not sure about that. Let's see first. Since Confessor Adalbert and Mrs. Saulbeck have both attested those people are obedient and free of fault, I will not ban their teaching. So, they are obedient, they are free of fault, but one of them is a psyker. So far, nothing bad was done, but there is a potential of something bad happening. If, during the warp travels, a little bit of influence from the entities comes to our ship, this kind of individual will probably be the first one to become a victim, will he not? So we do have to keep an eye on him. I don't like this. We will not let the law stand in our way. This is not... again, I don't have like an adequate response. So let's try to think, okay, if we are Paulus, inside of the context of the Warhammer 40K, we have to adapt ourselves. Paulus is still hurt because he lost Idira. Plus, he's sad. He doesn't want similar things to happen again. So he might be a little bit more lenient. And then again, she was being possessed in that moment, and demonic entities were, well, I don't know, like making influence on her or in general, so that her presence still was a threat to the ship. But Paulus should have acted in a better manner, at least keeping an eye on Argenta. Either one of those three. But. Infernus Master is the one who just came to me right now. He didn't even introduce himself to me before, so I don't know a lot about him. His words are not convincing, so I cannot choose number 3. I'm not convinced because Infernus Master says. It's not like my closest confidant said that. So 1 or 2. I don't like I will not let the law stand in our way, because we are lawful as much as we can be. Only when law is not just, then we can break the law. But here I'm not sure that the law is unjust. Then again, I do want to keep an eye on him. It was not... I don't want this to be just, I will not ban their teaching, I don't care. Number 2 is fine, but let it be known that this part is in brackets from now on. We will not let the law stand in our way. Okay. This is a dangerous decision, but I will obey the Lord Captain, and I will do my utmost to ensure that this cursed soul does not cause a manifestation of the warp Emperor Sailors. Good. Good, that's what I want from you. Oh, everybody's leveled up. I should do that. Dogmatic 200, of course. Let me level up my Arch-Militant. Choosing talents. 2 stacks of versatility, versatility stacks, bonus to critical damage. Should I just increase whatever type of damage that is possible for her? Always ready is nice as well. Because the versatility... Yeah, she gets more ballistic skill. And more damage, right? If she has 4 more stacks. I like always ready. And ballistic skill. 70. Good. If not that, then perception would be how well a character... Awareness skill reduces enemies' dodge chance against the character's attacks. Perception is also good. Quite good, actually, for her. Okay, let us put this on number 70, and afterwards we will increase the perception as well. Okay, adjusting front line, more parry and more dodge. I like that. Stratagem and rear. No, enduring zone. All allies plus 6 deflection against the next melee hit they suffer. Not bad. Not bad at all. Using the stratagem. Personal zone. Perception, agility. Perception and agility, which is nice for some characters like Argenta for sure. If they're in the same combat area. I'm not sure how often she is in the same combat area. All combat tactics bonuses are increased by 4% if the area was not moved for 2 rounds. So, not sure about that as well. Every time affected by stratagem, all allies gain plus 1 MP. Stacks with itself for the following turn. It's not that good. Critical hit chance against enemies they're protected by cover from, etc, etc. Adjusting front lines, I think, is the best. Yeah. And is it intelligence for him? I'm not sure why should I pick fellowship. Persuasion, commerce, coercion. Neither of those are of interest to me. But this, yes. Assassin, an eye for the unscathed. Enemy that has full wounds. Assassin gains dodge and dodge reduction against that enemy until the end of the next turn. This is good. Bringer of Doom so far. Perfect opening. Percentlet equal to dodge or dodge reduction. Plus 5% of targets affects more damage and hit an opening. It's not bad. Perfect opening is quite good as well. But Bringer of Doom is reducing the armor and dodge. It was quite good, isn't it? This is definitely connected with this, an eye for the unscathed. So if I would pick perfect opening later on, I could pick eye for unscathed. Isn't? I think so. Let's do this perfect opening then. Agility. Should we pick agility for him? Not sure. Perception is fine. Agility is for his dodging. I should acquire a little bit of defensive skills for him, shouldn't I? Improves the initiative dodge chance. Dodge reduction is equal to half their agility. Should I take that? Or perception? One of those two I will. I'll take perception. Reduces enemies' dodge chance against my attacks. Okay, bounty hunter. Ballistics will be 65. Perception will be 65 as well. Let's use ballistics in this case. Gruesome kill. Agility reduced after a kill. Okay. Armor penetration. Share the spoils. Ally kills who gets half of the bonuses. Which is not bad. Not bad at all. Stacks. This is very good. If I get a lot of critical hits though. Let's do that. Heighten concentration. Next. Fellowship, I believe. Next. Against all odds. Stacks of tactical advantage equal to the number of enemies. I think this definitely, because the prestige advantage can have huge damage because of this, the tactical advantage. So if I use this tactical advantage equal to the number of enemies and use my eye twice, I can dish out huge amounts of damage. Vanguard, well, I know for him I just need to tank even more. I have decent strength and weapon skills, so I'll just use more toughness. They suffer penalty to attacks against him. I kind of want something that will make him a priority target even more. Center of attention. No. Defensive comrade. No. Once per round, whenever an enemy that considers him a priority target is so adjacent to the vanguard. Oh, this is good. Whenever Vanguard hits an enemy with an attack opportunity, willpower resistance test, on a failed test, the Vanguard becomes this enemy's priority target until the end of the Vanguard's next turn. So higher chances for me to be a priority target. I'm fine with that. And moi. Perception. Ballistic skill. Which one of those? I think ballistic skill. No, perception maybe. Okay. 45 to 50, 60. Let's do the 50 perception in this case. Next 2 times I will take the ballistic skill, if I remember. Share the spoils, maybe. Or gruesome kill. Reduce the agility. No, let's do that. It's useful for the other tensile radius, though. That's not huge. Actually, not a lot. No, let's go. Let's take that. I think it's fine. So. Let me investigate a little bit. Let me check up on 2 ladies. Okay.
Words cannot describe how boring the bridge is without our stimulating conversation. Reading Xenos' colors has always been a grueling challenge for me. The boundless palette of colors Yrliet emanates is too painful to look at. Her hues are bright, blinding, unnatural, and very, very dangerous, Lord Captain. I would never entrust my safety to a being that screams so loudly and clearly of its alienness to human perception.
Okay.
I have enjoyed your company.
Thank you. It was interesting to hear about that. So her emotions are not something that she can decipher so easily. It's unnatural.
Greetings.
For her. So what about the Salis Prime and the Relic?
Of course. My mission is all I can think about.
So, remind me, what is our mission?
To find the way to the planet called Salis Prime. Saint Argenta is my patroness, and that is where her fallen ship is. And it must also be the resting place of her great relic, the One Star.
And whose relic?
Gladly. Listen. Long ago, there was a blessed world. Thousands of stars covered the sky there, so bright that its denizens hardly knew the darkness of night. Thousands of rivers nurtured the soil. Thousands of gardens bloomed every spring, and at every moment, thousands of prayers were flying into the clear air, thanking and praising the Emperor. But one day, the people learned the meaning of darkness. Like a storm, accursed heretics who had sold themselves to the archenemy descended upon the planet. Shells flew from the sky that desolated whole cities and burned the gardens and filled the riverbeds with the blood of the faithful. Smoke and soot swallowed the skies and the 1,000 stars that had once shone over the world. Among the handful of survivors was one orphan who had watched all her family die, and the garden she'd grown up in burned to ash. But in her heart, she knew the absolute truth. Just these 3 words. The Emperor protects. And knowing that, she never looked away from the black, terrifying, smoke-covered sky. There were no more bright stars to be seen, except for one. The One Star. The bright star. The silver star shone in the sky. And when the orphan smiled at it, the One Star fell right into her hands. All the faithful in every corner of the continent who saw the trail of the falling star recognized it as an omen and went looking for the place where it landed. And they rallied together. And with the light of the One Star, they found their salvation.
Okay, was that Saint Argenta?
Yes, that was the beginning of her hagiography. It is known that she lived on a world where heretics staged a terrible insurrection. They wiped out all life on the planet, except those whom Saint Argenta managed to save with the One Star.
One Star.
And with the strength of her faith. After that, she traveled between worlds gripped by turmoil on her ship, marked with a silver star, and brought hope to the faithful. Numerous accounts confirm this. Her coming helped people turn the tide of the war and wipe away corruption before the Imperium's main forces even arrived. Millions of people owed their lives to her, but the heretics, having realized their imminent defeat, sent the remnants of their forces after the ship with the Silver Star. It fell from the skies onto an obscure world. There are no definitive records of how old Argenta was at the time. In some chronicles, she's even called the Child Saint, but their credibility is questionable.
Okay.
Either way, she didn't live long, but she left a bright trail in her wake, like a falling star.
So what is this one star?
If I only knew. Neither the hagiography nor the legends give a straight answer. Classical iconographers believed that the star turned into a banner woven from silver thread, which, when brought onto the battlefield, would shed light that blinded only heretics, but did no harm to the faithful. Most of them portrayed Saint Argenta as a girl carrying this banner.
Okay.
Others think that upon falling from the sky, the one star became a holy chainsword, which Argenta later used to strike down monsters and enemies of the Imperium. In some of the earlier engravings, Argenta is depicted wearing power armor with a silver star on her chest. One theological theory suggests that this armor was, in fact, the Relic. Some even think that the one star is actually the ship on which Argenta traveled. I feel that my undertaking will be fulfilled when I find the answer that has eluded the Ecclesiarchy for millennia. I pray we find the way to Salus Prime soon. The ruinous powers must be aligned against us. They stand in the way of faith.
Oh, okay.
One day we will reach Salus Prime.
Thank you. That was a nice reiteration of something that I kinda already knew. But I guess that after this DLC, or maybe just finishing this part of the story, I have a little bit more dialogue. Now, Yrliet, what about you? Yrliet stands out from the surroundings like a Genusian jungle tree in a garden of manicured topiary, unsettling beauty and alluring otherness. The posture, gestures, piercing stare radiate from her. So strange and blasphemous things started happening during the first warp voyage. The crew are whispering that you might be the reason. What about that? Is that true?
The minions of She Who Thirsts could sense my soul behind the thick walls and thin veil that separate your fragile lives from the roiling fury outside. A child of Asurian that dared to wander beyond the veil, within the reach of an outstretched claw, protected only by the barrier of unreliable monkey technology. It is too tempting a quarry for the monsters that serve Cylon Thresh.
Cylon Thresh.
Our ships never venture beyond the veil, and I never traveled the way you do, monkey. Ilantak, I admit this was a novel experience.
First warp travel.
I lost composure, let dismay into my heart, and almost strayed from the path. This moment of hesitation drew the attention of She Who Thirsts, but I summoned my will and used the knowledge of meditation to achieve balance, and hide my soul behind an impenetrable wall of resolve. Future journeys beyond the veil will still be difficult, but I will steel my heart and not let the hounds of Cylon Thresh pick up my scent ever again.
If you say so. Tell me, what about the rumors on Footfall? Is it your kin?
Is that snake venom seeping from your lips? We, the children of Azurian, are no strangers to the art of war. We are not raiders, or butchers, or least of all, fools. When a craft world is beset by calamity, its inhabitants do not start a war with every monkey in the sector. If you are looking for enemies, look for them elsewhere.
So all Eldari carry these crystals, spirit stones. What are they?
You are talking about something you cannot comprehend, Elantark. Waystones are not mere trinkets worn by my people. They are something greater. From birth into the last breath, the Spirit Stone belongs only to its owner, serving as an ever-present reminder that we are mortal. For it is the first refuge of the mind and the last refuge of the soul, which Silent-Thresh is so eager to devour. The souls of the children of Azurian move into the stones after death, and then they become a part of the Infinity Circuit on a craft world, so they can serve their people even when the body is gone. There is no crime more despicable than harming a Waystone and dooming the immortal soul of a child of Azurian to an eternity of torment in the maw of she who thirsts.
So it will carry somehow the soul of the Eldari after they die. And they want to preserve their souls. They keep them on the craft world in order for them not to fall into the hands of Silent-Thresh.
We need Waystones as desperately as darkness needs starlight, and Monkey need air.
No.
And so we are bound to wander the
I love
galaxy
her
in search
racism.
of the old worlds that might
It's
give
actually
another
funny.
craft world hope for existence. Each monkey's heart is one of your lives.
Yeah.
Each Waystone is the preserved soul of a child of Azurian.
Okay, just one more question. I will not ask all these questions to you right now, but just how do your craft worlds even work?
Is idle curiosity a defining feature of the monkey? Or are you trying to learn about the weaknesses of my people so you can destroy another world of the children of Azurian?
Okay. Thank you.
As
Goodbye.
you wish, Elantark.
Okay. Little by little, we'll acquaint ourselves with her more. Not immediately. Not completely. Jocasta. So, what is your opinion of me? I do not doubt the astuteness of your decisions, but beyond that, I'm impressed with you. I've heard about the brutal punishments that you have endured, Lord Captain. Your tenacity deserves admiration. That's my backstory, right? There is fire in the black depths of her gaze. If she could, she would devour you whole with her sidelong glances. Oh boy. You forgot yourself. Of course, Lord Captain. It would not be prudent, number one, to fall to your base desires. Number two, to even do that just with one of your subordinates. Number two, you're wearing Imperial Navy armor. How come? I inherited it from the previous Master-at-Arms. Like the esteemed Seneschal, he left the Navy to serve Lady Theodora. He brought quite a few officers with him and established a tradition. Upon the death or resignation of an enforcer, his or her armor would be passed on to a fellow officer who had distinguished themselves in the course of their duties. I was awarded armor in this way in my time, and upon the death of my predecessor, I inherited his personal armor. That's nice. So what do you think about the other officers? I do not trust them, but I do not trust anyone. Mistress Tolliman has too much power, and will surely be tempted to start deciding for herself what information to share with the crew on your behalf and what to withhold. Revor, intertwined with the ship's systems, Plenty opportunities for sabotage. He must be watched. Denrock. A man of his size and habits cannot help but steal. Okay. What about Abelard? The Seneschal is a model of competence and fidelity, and all the officers and forces look up to him with gratitude. It is all the more distressing to see that the years have not been kind to the deeply respected Master Viserion. Soon there will be no rejuvenant treatment that can save him from the mistakes inherent in such advanced age. But we are ever watchful, and will be there to steady the trembling hand of the honored veteran if need be. Okay, he's not ancient. He's just a little bit older, but he's still my best tank, so come on. How come you are here? From the noble Sauerback family of the capital of Dargonus. Okay, we'll be there in a couple of episodes, I guess. 6th Master-at-Arms to serve on this ship. Why are you here instead of basking in luxury? Because of my cousin, Macarius. I cannot stand him. Feelings mutual. We can hardly be in the same room together, so I jumped at the opportunity to become your enforcer. I should thank my obnoxious cousin for nudging me toward the best decision of my life. I serve you with all my heart and wish for no other faith than this one. Thank you, Jocasta. She has very masculine features, and it's very off-putting, the metal plate that she has on the chin, because I know she's not a man, but it reminds me of a beard. It looks like a beard. I think it was maybe a conscious decision on the artwork. Oh well, it's over now. I'm glad that you're proud. Generous. Generous, no questions. Carry on. To another compartment. Let's go to another compartment. Because we can right now. Where? Astropathic Chapel. Sure, that will be interesting. This compartment is not of interest. Void Ship Shrine. Astropathic Chapel. Lord Captain's Quarters. Let's first go to my quarters. I'm kinda interested whether things will be different in any way, shape, or form. What's this? Like a ship, Steel Devil, destroyed by the Dynasty, etc., etc. Okay, we have myself over here. I wish I could change it to something else. Only two options were like the previous one and me, so both is weird. Okay. Oh, link your account. Look at that. Bookshelves. Oh, that's actually going directly to getting rewards. Oh, this is interesting. What? Rogue Trader drops. Alright, don't need that right now. Ancestry records, vaults. What is in my vault? Do I have anything? I have way too much of the accessories. Maybe I'll keep this. Maybe I'll put this in my vault. Because I don't have a dog right now, so I cannot use it. Yeah. Let's go here, yeah. Can I use this bathtub right now? Perform your so I have Master of Ablutions. Ablutions, wow, this is so Okay, let's see. Let's clean ourselves. How does it look? Okay. And what they're preparing? Is that food or is that clothes? It's being carried on a platter, so I think it's actually clothes. Just weird. Okay. Soothing water caresses your senses, your grateful muscles welcome the chance to rest. A pleasant languor spreads through your body as you allow yourselves a moment of quiet relaxation. Nice. I wish to see someone from my retinue. I think we will go into the direction of... something not what I don't want. Let's first just relax a little bit. The tension slowly retreats. I go to stillness, muscle by muscle, pore by pore. Okay. Troubles, worries, loss, infinite waters of weightlessness. That's nice. It is a conscious mind. What fills this consciousness that I'm becoming aware of? Thoughts of his monumental duty to the Emperor. Service and death, for such is the price of humanity's victory in the everlasting war. Thoughts of those who keep him afloat in these waters, who will drown and who will he manage to pull to the surface. Oh yes, that is a good one. Price paid for power. No. Only a desperate desire to lose himself. No. Iconoclast. The strands of faith are fragile, yet woven together they strong. That's a cute quote. Very Greek mythological type of a quote. Strands of faith. Yeah. Okay. I mean, maybe I could have like interesting conversations, but I'm really afraid that if I click 2 or 3, it will go directly into the, sexual direction, which I don't want. Pleasant conversation. Okay, first, let's see this. I cannot bathe without my loyal seneschal. Yrliet, the Xenos will keep me entertained. Heinrichs, he will keep me entertained. Cassia, I want her to paint my portrait. Oh, God. No, I will not have a portrait of myself naked and, half naked in my bathtub. Pascal, Cassia, Argenta. Okay, you know what? I will not do anything. Please, guys, if you're watching this, comment what is going to happen if I click some of these things. Can it be just a normal, interesting conversation while we're relaxing ourselves, like in normal common baths, or if we go on a beach and we swim and we talk about stuff and laugh? Is it possible to have it like that? Or will this game immediately force something that is definitely not for a Catholic priest to witness, or choose, or for anyone by that matter, not only a priest? I've changed my mind. Finish your ablutions. And be honest, I would like to have the choices and do something, but I will be careful. We can do that later. I don't have to do that immediately, to do everything immediately. Okay, at least I know that I do have my choices. A beautiful view of the stars, etc., etc., etc. Okay. Vault. Oh, no need for that. Okay. Next part. I would like to visit another part of the ship, actually. I'm finding this quite fun. First of all, Astropathic Chapel. Oh, look at this. Sure. I guess. Is there someone of my retinue who would not be an interesting addition to the Astropathic Chapel? Yrliet, Cassia, sure. Pascal, oh, it's, yeah, we have to choose. It's hard to leave someone of my team currently because I'm quite fond of all of them as characters and as fighters.
How fascinating. To me, the Immaterium is made of colors, but to the astropaths who dwell in this chapel, it is music.
Ooh, interesting. And the music in the background. Alright, bridge, technomat. Let's explore a little bit. What do we see? We see astropaths in their chairs doing stuff of importance. Can we speak to it? No, we cannot. I guess we will be able to speak to some astropaths. Logic, please. Paulus, you're the most logical person.
I rise to the occasion.
It uses its many quills to commit the espresso. Astropaths whispers the paper, then sort the resulting raw mental images based on their meanings. Alright, deciphering stuff, I guess.
A new challenge for me.
Astropaths, a little bit of a loot, because why not? A servitor, poor fellow. More goods, why not? What's this? Outlines of machines in a greenish haze. Okay, Zachary Weiss, so you're in charge over here. Ooh. Yeah, the music is quite cool. So, what do we have here? We have, so 3 astropaths could be potentially in this at the same time. We don't know why. Remain vigilant, of course. Never know. Logic, please.
Excellence matters.
Compiler sends it to a choir master along with a list of meanings for the known images. Okay. And you make music out of all that. The astropaths receive something, it's transferred onto the paper, and music is created out of all of that in a very old school form. This is interesting. So this part is turning the wheel, and these parts are actually creating the music, like chipping away at these protruding parts. So they create sounds, and they turn the wheel, I think so. Alright, Sigma. Protect us from the machine spirit's unrest, for without his gifts our sacrifices are fruitless. Yeah, it's hard to hear him. The engine seer. Prayer in the Technolingua. What's going on here? The sacred compiler is ailing. A gloom has come over the machine spirits, disrupting the mechanism's operations. The 12th row of the drum is now adding incorrect symbols. Oh, we cannot leave that be. We have to fix that. We summoned the servants of your Messiah, but the machine spirits are none too eager to hear their prayers. The esteemed engineer in state of tech prayer trance hasn't moved from the spot for a day now. That's not good either. I had the audacity to think the sacred compiler could be better helped by examining its parts. And who am I to question the secret knowledge of Baptist Mechanicus? Unit Sigma AR-87, currently in tech trance of shared comprehension with the spirit of archaeotech device cataloged under the name of Stream Spindle. Oh, interesting. Like archaeotech would be ancient tech. Disturbing unit is not recommended. However, a practical intervention will likely aid the release of the accumulated brethren. Oh well. Why such a trifle of an error? Imagine a single extra character creeping its way into the coordinates for a warp jump and sending the flagship into the center of a star. Imagine the word disloyal becoming is loyal. Well, that's true. Resulting in thousands of your faithful servants falling victim to treachery. Nothing is a trifle to an astropath. I agree with them, actually. Paulus was a little bit naive. A small mistake at the beginning could end up being a huge mistake later on down the road. So, is there a way I can help? Okay. Fix the issues. So, that became a quest for me right now.
It's about time.
But wax stained interpreter. Tech use.
Successful.
Okay, issue affecting the compiler's interpreter Mariuka has been fixed. Oh, because Pascal can do it. Okay. More
Done.
experience points. Containing Empress's text. Okay. Faulty receiver calibrator. Tech use. Good. I fixed that as well.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
This is interesting and weird because, of course, it's like a, let's say, perversion of the church choirs and the stuff that they do, that we do, with the music that's kind of church music, but not really. Well, church organs are playing. Organs are an instrument definitely primarily used in a liturgical sense.
This exploratory is blessed with multifunctionality.
And choirs were made in church settings for praying. Praying while singing, chanting. Because I'm not sure if Saint Ambrose or Saint Augustine said, I think Saint Augustine, that he who sings prays twice. So when you're singing, you give more of yourself. It's even stronger emotional, I would not say response, but manifestation of your interior faculties. Your will is moved even stronger, and your intellect is embraced even stronger. I'm lacking words here. While singing. Singing cannot truly be completely devoid from a religious sense. Singing is, even when we observe the primitive religions in humanity, singing always has a religious connotation. And that's why it's very important to choose the music that you're listening and the singing that you do. It influences us psychologically and therefore spiritually as well. Can I fix something else as well? Do I have more stuff that need fixing? I cannot see.
None shall
Did I
stand
fix
in
everything
my
that
way.
can be fixed? Yes. This more.
Operation
Okay.
successful.
Logic here. Did I do everything that I could have done? Drum. Yeah, it's better. A drum, not a wheel. A drum. I think I have. Can I speak with Sigma now? No. Let's speak with this guy.
A new challenge for me?
Endless stream of symbols. repurposed organs. Okay. Lord Captain. A visit from the Rogue Trader is an honor for us. How can I be of use, your lordship? Sanctioning is a brutal procedure, one which robs every astropath of the gift of sight. But in return, they gain a new kind of vision that allows them to see what ordinary people cannot. What's that? So they are blind, but they can perceive stuff. Who are you, remind me? My name is Zachary Weiss, your lordship. I'm the choirmaster of the Astropathic choir. I was posted to this ship soon after my soul-binding ritual in Holy Terra. You might say I have been serving household phalanges all my life. How old are you, though? So, how did you like your life under Lady Theodora? I served her for 2 decades, never knew another Lord Captain before your ascension. With her, I had been through many things. Probably because of her flirtation with the heretical style. She had a good understanding of my significance within the overall mechanism of the ship's services. However, that did not stop her from neglecting my warnings. So how old are you? I turned 34 a month and a half ago. So he's younger than me. Having factored in our movements through the warp. He's very young. But I guess everything that happens through the ritual, it makes you much older, or makes your biological, physical age older. That doesn't mean you are wiser. Tell me about the choir. So, what device is this mechanical drum? A sacred compiler that helps us record, store, and to an extent unread messages. The astropaths first received these messages in the form of muddled images, dictating what they see to the machine, which logs their every word from the reels of the receivers on the ceiling. The machine recorded words are routed through the lines under the floor into transcribers and then the solar score. The score is the most important part of the mechanism, as it contains a vast catalog of various symbols and the methods of their interpretation. The compiler matches the images in the message against its data and forwards the results to the central cogitator and myself, so that I can begin the ritual of decoding. I know of no other choir that possesses so wise a mechanism, and I praise the God Emperor for its existence. However, while the compiler hastens the extraction of intelligible meaning from perplexing imagery, an astropath must still open their mind to interpretation, which is no less perilous than writing, receiving, or sending an astropathic message. So I guess the messages are they connected with the music that's being played in the background? I guess they are. So, if your machine knows the meaning of these symbols, why can't it decode the messages itself? Regrettably for us all, your lordship, astropathic messages are not ciphered dispatches, but rather psychic imprints containing information. Only an astropath can read the entirety of something created through the medium of the warp. Okay. So, how does one become an astropath? Psychers delivered to Terra on the black ships. Only a few of the candidates had what it took to study astropathy. Few were still successful, completed the grueling training. Almost none survived the initiation. Poor guy, so he was been through a lot even though he's only 34. So he had a privilege of behold the Emperor's light. Beautiful. I wonder what that actually is. So that changed him. It wounds you irreparably, takes your eyesight, but in exchange, you commune with greatness. His presence in our souls fortifies them, and we stand against malicious powers. After the ritual, the astropath is assigned their position. So, how was he assigned here, though? If something happens to your choir, where can I find new astropaths? It would be more on point to say when something happens. The Emperor's blessing protects us from the warps and various influences, however, there are hovers burning in the void, for which even this defense would be no obstacle. Okay. Adeptus Administratum is the correct place. Lock permitting, unattached astropaths from the sector will be posted to the ship. Failing that, the request will go to Terra and we'll have to wait for a long time. Okay. There are other options, blasphemous, forbidden options. Unsanctioned psychers. Yeah, I don't think that would be wise. Okay. I don't recommend even considering such an option. Unsanctioned psychers are gateways for the archenemy's forces. I agree. That doesn't mean that we have to get rid of them or kill them, but to use them in this kind of a context, very unwise. Very, very unwise. So, if you wanted to hide something, you could. Okay, good. I like that he's mad with that. That's a good response. My duty is to shield you from the monstrous communications that filter through the warp. The screams of the Emperor's loyal servants, centuries dead by now, the nightmarish, maddening images of the Sea of Souls, the cursed symbols that cause astropaths to convulse in violent fits of frenzy, the messages from abominations in search of weak minds to devour. Concealing all of that from you is my duty. It's actually very noble of you. I am grateful. I don't want you to think that I'm not. I was testing you, and you had a very good response. Thank you for your service. To us astropaths, this place is our cradle and our grave. You are the conflux of every secret missive, every order of prime importance, every scheme being plotted behind the scenes. You are at a place where each of your loyal astropaths is ready to lay down their life for crumbs of information, if that is your wish. We receive and send messages. For hours turning into days, we wander the dark depths of the Materium, carrying our voice through the warp's eternal night, bringing it to our comrades in some remote refuge, accepting the voices, signals, and missives of others into our own abode. Those are most often meant for you, your lordship, and at times they are meant for no one. So that odd noise inside of the chapel does not bother you. It is a mental focusing technique used by your black ship's choir, one that I invented myself. This music was written by an astropath. What my charge is and I hear in it is not what ordinary people hear. Its true depth and beauty cannot be fathomed without the Emperor's blessing. So, you had to go through a study of the liturgical music in order to appreciate it. That's what you want to say. The music protects our minds from rudimentary thoughts, purifies and sharpens them. I don't know if... well, close enough. Close enough. But above all else, it serves as a beacon of sorts amid the tumultuous Sea of Souls, a thread to lead us home from the deadly maze. Good. I can understand that. Music is very powerful, and it can have a very destructive influence on our minds, and very beneficial influence as well. Okay. Goodbye, your lordship, says he. Goodbye. Yep. Okay. I'm not sure, was I able to... Where is compiler out of order? Did I fix it completely? Not yet. Well, let's find a way to fix it completely then. Something dark, red and old. I wonder what that is.
I won't tolerate weakness.
Can I speak to you? No. No. You? No. All he does is pray. He doesn't
Victory
sleep.
awaits.
So what's happening now? Can I speak with you, Observer Server Skull? Can I? I can't. So maybe... Oh, it's here. It's actually here. Okay, finally.
My success is irrefutable.
Good. Is that it now? Was I able to... Yes. Talk to the Astropath. Presumably this one.
I'll lay claim to the stars.
Your lordship, he smiles at me. The shy, awkward smile of someone unused to smiling. The sacred mechanism is working again with no disruptions. With sacred words and virtuous thoughts turned toward a machine god, I have been able to pacify this mechanism's wayward spirits. The Omnisire blesses. That's nice. I should rather say that it was my efforts that helped make the machine operational. Oh. Both. I guess both. How lucky we are that a venerable tech priest is so pious and wise. This statement is true. Okay. I recommend installing 2 instance burning units in this compartment to prevent the spirit's continued anger. The unit's Zachary advice will be provided with a list of minor recommendations, 142 in total, for improvements to this compartment's maintenance. Failure to implement will result in sanctions on the part of the Adeptus Mechanicus priesthood. Wow. So, okay. I made them happy, and I guess I kinda did something good for this guy. Is he aware of that? I have something for you. Do you now? Thanks for the assistance in repairing the compiler. So he is aware that I assisted. We have been able to interpret a most curious message. It contains a call sign that agents of the Regnant Voidweir use in their special important reports. Okay, could it be a message from Voidweir? He was more likely the intended recipient. Okay, when was it sent? I cannot say with certainty. Following the repair work, I went through texts that had defied decoding before. The signal had lost its way in the bowels of the mechanism. It could be a week old, or years. Huh. What does it say? Only a few words. Lilamed, Odenathus 11. The winds have ceased. It is done. Now, Lilamed is Voidweir's call sign for special reports, but the rest is a code we are unfamiliar with. That said, we know where to look for the truth, the Odenathus 11 system. I'll get to the bottom of it. I have no doubt of that, your lordship. Okay. Thank you. That's it for this part. This was very interesting. I loved it. I loved it. Very, very interesting, actually. Okay. Let's, No, there are no there are no more malfunctioning cogitators. Come on. Why do you have that on the minimap? Faulty receiver. I guess before I fixed them, they were all on the minimap. But now that I fixed them,
Follow my lead.
no need. Okay. We can leave now to another compartment. Voidship Shrine, Voidship Bridge, Lord Captain's Square. So of course we want to go to the shrine. Officer's deck, not yet. The Astropathic Chapel, we are there. So let's go to the shrine. Shrine. I think this is better for the shrine. I don't think that it will be very interesting to Pascal. Or for Yrliet, maybe. I don't think maybe it will be interesting to Yrliet. maybe like this. Yeah, let's check it out. You know, guys, I'm just on a hunt for good dialogue options. That's the most fun part of this game, for sure. Getting to know the world and the interactions that we have. A little bit of combat is satisfying, but this playthrough is definitely not combat-oriented. It's just that it's my nature that I don't want to go in a story mode to have too easy combat. I still like a little bit of challenge. Even though, I must say, if I see that too much time will go on combat stuff in this game, I will lower the difficulty. I will not be so proud, because I need to have my priorities. It will be sad for me, but still. Okay, so Confessor, Initiate. We have a couple of Initiates. Confessor. It's not that big. Lore Imperium, let's examine it. So what is this?
Rise to the occasion.
More, known as Ferrum Fatum, Iron Fate. Fate of Iron. Its head split when it cracked open the skull of the loathsome demon, Baranezar Tafleya. Okay. So we have artifacts over here. Holy shall be the receptacle that holds the relic. Tireless shall be thy servant who lives but to labor. Yeah, sure, but don't live to labor. Labor to live, my good man. Labor to live. Very similar, but also completely different. Rex Regalia. What do we have here? The partial restored blade of Zathudas, the earnest missionary who decimated Abanamero Xenos and fell in deathly battle against the unrighteous. Good, more artifacts. What say you? What's here? Machine, there's a low hum. Okay. Is this Quiotus or Clotus? Clotus. A lank initiate leaning over the cogitator, expression of extreme mental effort on his face, his fish-like round eyes peering into the screen. Grant me understanding, master. Grant me wisdom. Your lordship, how can I be of service? So, who are you and what do you do here? I am Clotus, junior cleric. I sought recordings from the shrine Confessional to pass on to higher-ranking clergy. Tell me more about this Confessional. Yet another thing that has been implemented and copied from the Catholic Church. Our parishioners come here to repent, to share their innermost thoughts and observations of their neighbors. The sacred machine records all confessions and alters the voices beyond recognition. Oh, the heresy. Within the Catholic Church, of course, this would be heresy. Well, not heresy in the literal meaning. Heresy in the literal meaning would be fully formed belief or way of perceiving the faith that has been led astray, that is far away from the truth. Well, even a little deviation from the truth can go a long way with time. But in this case, this is just something that's bad, that's well, not completely bad, because they are altering the voices beyond recognition, so they cannot know who said it. But then again, they're still recording it. Ah, okay, these are not like the priests from the Catholic Church. Nothing can ever be recorded in a confessional. It would mean automatic excommunication for the priest if he said anything that anyone said to him under the confessional seal. The seal of... what's the name in English? I'm not sure. Confessional seal, I guess. Yeah, but even if there's like a murderer or even worse, because worse stuff can happen, comes to the confessional and says about the things that he or she did, we cannot say that to police or to anyone under the threat of death. And the same thing is if we have like a 9-year-old kid who, I don't know, hit his sister or pulled her hair and confessed that to us in a confessional. Same thing. Under the pain of death, we cannot divulge that information to anyone. but okay. Here, we don't know who said it. And that's kinda excusable, but it's playing with fire. Is there a way to find out who made which confession? There is not. Really? I have heretical adherent. I wonder what would happen if I was a heretical. Maybe it can be misused. That would undermine the usefulness of it. The first prototype wasn't anonymous. Those confessions might as well have been carbon copies of each other. Everyone was impeccably diligent and pious and whatnot. But as soon as the machine spirits started keeping the names secret, the parishioners opened up. Where, of course, the seal of silence is... okay, so this is not as bad as I thought. Kinda. It's still weird, and I don't think it's prudent to keep the records of all that. Well, if the parishioners are aware that their records will be kept as anonymous, then it's okay. I think. It's a different context. Good thinking, making India anonymous. Keep up the fine work. I will endeavor to use so, your lordship. It be as you have difficulties. Nothing escapes your lordship's notice, and so it happens I'm struggling to categorize 3 rather peculiar confessions. I wouldn't have dared to tell you about them, but I think they may have been left by senior officers. We're already doing something that we shouldn't. Which would make this a matter of the highest order, one that is far beyond my meager understanding. These confessions, you see, are far from being examples of pious conformity. I dread the very thought of the scent of heresy poisoning the minds of some of the most eminent members of the crew, but I cannot change what I heard. I cannot share this with anyone but the Emperor's anointed, nor can I allow anyone but your lordship to listen to these messages protected by the secrecy of confession. So what makes you think that they were made by the senior officers? Well spoken. Used to addressing an audience. Perhaps they issue orders invested with power. And well, after categorizing so many confessions, I have learned to notice the subtle differences between them. Okay, let's hear them, I guess. This alleged descent impious death. One question has troubled me for years. Why are some destined to perish in the warp while others must go living and preserve the memory of the dead? Worthier and more luminous souls have been lost, and yet I am still here. Okay. Fine question. The orphans of the ship have already been provided with bare sessions, but every so often I consider increasing their rations and ordering more sets of clothes for them. That will not replace the families they lost, but will improve their lives somewhat, especially given the ship they... I commend that. It's nice. You have heard the bridge officers gossiping that High Factotum has taken personal charge of the orphans. Okay. High Factotum. Lop-eared Calepas. Spare high degree of socialization with other owners. These animals adjust well to the lower gravity. Lop-eared Calepa meat is edible, should necessity demand it. I'm curious to know who left. I will seek them out. No, if the point is for it to be anonymous. Okay, I'm trying to think within the context of this world. This is not the confession as it is in the real world. Mislav, be aware of that. It's different. But I'm not quite sure the nuances of the difference. So would it be immoral for the leader to find out who said what? Would that go against the confidential, like the seal of confidentiality that exists in a way, or not? I actually am happy with all 3 of the messages. Nothing heretical, nothing bad over there. For the orphans, it's actually commendable. So I'm not sure. Should I do something? or should I not? Enough about that. No, I'll yeah. I'll leave you to your concerns. Was that like? No, everything was fine. Okay, let me just check the time. I have a couple of minutes more. Let's see.
None shall stand in my way.
It makes me uneasy to you know, determine who it was. I guess it would not be that bad, and maybe even I could do something good about it. But it's just I don't feel right doing it, guys. It's supposed to be anonymous. That means anonymous to the boss as well. I'm the boss here, so no.
I've read about this.
So what do we have here? Skeleton inside a sarcophagus, holding a spherical object gleaming in gold. What say you? How may I be of service? Who are you? Initiate Zeke. Reciting prayers and help Confessor Adalbert with the rites. Okay, what is the relic next to you? A mysterious object, an undeniably holy one, donated by a group of pilgrims who studied the legacy of the great missionary Nadine Aleinkov. They believed there was something inside that only someone truly righteous was meant to have. One of the pilgrims was so desperate to witness the moment of the orb's opening that they bequeathed their body to us. A riddle. It would be most interesting to learn what is stored inside. Lord Captain, would you like to try opening the orb? Yes. Do you have any ideas on how to open it? Well, one of your predecessors was the last to attempt solving the relic's mystery. Before Lady Theodora was born, that's all I know. Why not disassemble it? To damage a sacred relic is an unthinkable crime, and to use force to bypass the test of wisdom and faith it contains is a terrible blasphemy. Okay, open the reliquary. I'm going to try to solve the mystery of the orb. I think, together with Cassia and Argenta, and even the Inquisitor, I have good chances. He opens the lock, hands me the orb. Someone has already moved the hoops around, trying to arrange the letters. I think it's more just an intellectual thing here. Form the questions in the orb's first quarter. My light reaches everywhere. The greedy will see me in gold, the scholars in humanity's cradle, but only the righteous will see me within their souls. I think it's Emperor. Throne, maybe. Oh, the light of the throne. The greedy will see me in gold, the golden throne. The scholars in humanity's cradle. Yes, throne. For better or worse, something clicks inside of the orb. Okay, form the questions in the orb's second quarter. I am within every human, and my loss is feared. For without me comes the end. But give me to the Emperor, and you will be eternal. Within every human, a loss is feared. Blood. Give blood to the Emperor, and you will be eternal. Like, give your life to the Emperor, and you will be eternal. Without me comes the end. I think it's blood. Within every human, a loss is feared, of course. Life, maybe? Without me, without life comes the end. But give me to the Emperor, and you will be eternal. Give your life to the Emperor. Maybe life. Either life or blood. Which is, I don't know why do you have both choices. It's just ambiguous here. Blood is something that represents the life. So, within every human. I will choose blood. Give me to the Emperor, and you will be eternal. Oh, well, is it actually? What about the Adeptus Mechanicus? Do they have blood? Or have they, like, where they manage to replace blood with some different fluid. Let's choose life here, but next time, if I fail, I'll choose blood. Third quarter. I am poison, I am perdition, I am disgrace. Burn me down, eradicate me, or perish. Rejected by the Emperor. Poison, perdition, disgrace. Weakness. I think weakness. With a click, the hoop settles in place. Form the question in the room's remaining quarter. In your body, mind, and soul, you must possess me. I am no mere absence of stains. I will bring you closer to him. If I recall the pages of life of Nadina Lightnikov correctly, this part speaks about purity. The saints saw it as the quintessence of all other virtues. I like that. Purity. I'm actually planning to... Well, I will be going to my doctoral studies soon. Postgraduate studies, with first like a licentiate degree inside of the church, and after that PhD. But purity is actually the topic that I plan researching and writing more. So purity, okay. You will have to start over. One more time. First, so throne, that's for sure. Second, blood. Third quarter. Poison, perdition, disgrace. No. Transgression. Poison. Transgression, is that poison? Perdition. Burn down transgressions. Eradicate. No. Burn down betrayals. No. Weakness. Remaining quarter. Okay. Good. So, blood. The orb comes alive. Its hoops shift around with alarming speed, coming together and folding into each other until the orb opens completely, laying its treasures bare. I have missionary oath. An ancient scroll containing a solemn vow of service to the Emperor, penned by an unknown missionary from the words of great Nadine Aleinikov. Once per combat, if the wearer does not use any abilities during their turn, they can end their turn to immediately grant all adjacent allies an extra turn with 1 AP. All allies an extra turn with 1 AP. That's for like 1 regular hit. And that can be beautiful. That's awesome. How strange and exciting it is to behold a holy object that has lain hidden from the eye for so many years. Truly it is a great day upon which the rogue trader himself has revealed a legacy of great missionaries to us all. Beautiful, I gained a great artifact. And who should be the one to use that artifact? You know what? Actually, I think Pascal. I think Pascal. Because you lose your turn with this. And if the wearer does not use any abilities, and using her abilities is downright precious, because she's a very, very good damage dealer, isn't she? So I would like to have her, but yeah, definitely, actually, I love this. Okay.
I won't tolerate weakness.
This was fun. And confessor, crew officer. Ignorance is virtue, mercy is weakness, and there is no greater reward than to die in his name. Now we're... This reminds me of George Orwell's 1984. Ignorance is virtue. No, ignorance cannot be virtue. Knowledge is virtue. But not every knowledge is virtuous for everyone. You know? So if you're a carpenter, everything connected to carpentry is virtuous for you. You should not be ignorant of that. And for every person, if we are all designed to achieve union with God. So everything, knowledge about God is something that's virtuous, something that's good, something that will help us go into that direction. But we should not pursue just any type of knowledge just because it is knowledge. Knowledge in itself is not virtuous. If I'm able to be clear, I'm not sure if I'm being clear enough, but knowledge of virtuous things should be virtuous. Knowledge of things that are, well, evil, I guess, without appropriate reason for having that kind of a knowledge, that would not be virtuous on your part to acquire that kind of a knowledge. If you're a detective, if you are someone who has a need for that kind of knowledge to help others or to understand, to catch a bad guy, sure, then it would be virtuous again, because that's a part of your state in life. This is so stupid. Stupid versus weakness. Stupid. Okay.
A new challenge for
That's
me.
why I cannot be a part of the ecclesiarchy. Offer a prayer. Should we offer a prayer? Argenta.
I woke up with a feeling of wonder.
You don't care
As if a
about what
field of
others think.
flowers
You
was
definitely do
blossoming
want to offer
nearby.
a prayer.
A child was saved
So,
from
Argenta,
death.
offer a prayer.
1,000 heretics were burning alive, begging and sobbing and howling.
Argenta. Okay, Paulus recites a prayer. Oh, okay. Paulus recites a prayer to, not to the emperor that everyone thinks that he is doing, but he still prays. That's fine.
It's
Paulus
about
does not
time.
agree with all the creeds of this cult, but he still gives credit for the good things that they're doing. Okay, I think that was everything in this part of the ship, and it's also everything on for this today's Let's Play. Next time we're gonna be traveling across the stars, probably engaging into a little bit of a combat, whether space combat or actual combat, but we just arrived into another system, which we can just quickly visit, just to check how big it is. If they're like, okay, we have a couple of things here, space dust and stuff like that. Okay, the Vox systems have a distress signal from the Imperial vessel, interesting. Ship that belongs to the planetary fleet of Dragonus, okay. It's repeated at the intervals. It is your name that they are shouting, Lord Captain. Okay, we'll have to check that out, but first we're gonna save, and the checking of that is going to be in the next episode. Now, this was fun, so I don't know how much of this was from the DLC and how much it was from the regular game, but I presume that most of it was DLC, the new compartments at least. And nice, okay. Thanks for watching, God bless you, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. It's been a pleasure, as always.